Lord, Bill. Lord. You told what you wanted to tell. Well, I guess you didn't want to hear Haley's mouth about your mouth being on Danny's mouth. Oh, my Lord. Gee. Oh, we got a lot to talk about, y'all. Let's go ahead and make it do what it do. It's time for your Beyond the Gates episode 26 after show. So we pick up right where we left off with Bill and Danny. Bill came in on business. Danny said we got swept up, rather, in the moment. There's no we, Danny. And here's the thing, right? I did call Danny stupid in our last after show because I'm just like, that is so going to be used against you. You have no idea. But also, too, Bill, you consented, bro. You did push Danny off of you when that kiss happened. No. So then we go to Jacob and Naomi at Uptown. Jacob says, how can it look like revenge when you didn't create the situation? Those women came to you for help. If it feels good to get revenge on my dad, Naomi says, so be it, says Jacob. Jacob is recalibrating his moral compass before work. The only way to deal with the fact that he has a crook for a partner. Joey and Malone meet. Then we see Derek said to Ashley, now we're with Derek and Ashley at their apartment, or at Ashley's apartment. Derek just comes over. You're confused, just like the time I invited the queen for tea. It's Andre. Ashley says, all we have is leftovers and the place is a mess. And Derek says, I'm pretty sure he's ate in war zones. And so Ashley thought that was a dig at her cooking. Can we talk? I know it's just 2 minutes and 12 seconds into this thing, but can anybody tell me why Ashley had more energy for Andre than with Derek? I'm just saying, like, she was so nervous about Andre coming over that Derek just looked like, what am I here, chopped liver? I just noticed that energy, you know what I mean? So I thought that was quite interesting for sure. Yes, indeed. So Derek will get to know Andre, ask him questions about the doc that will make Ashley a star. Andre brought over some wine that has some, and that made Derek said that the wine had unexpected qualities that made him so, but notice that they got this wine from a new restaurant at Adams Morgan, Green Apple and Honeycomb. So then we're with Vernon and Anita. They are talking. There was a event at the library where Vernon and 4 of the people were talking about the civil rights movement, and Vernon had some notes of, him writing to Lauren and to Malcolm and to all the civil rights leaders. And Anita says, you made it through life with not one mark on you, not one. You inspire the younger generations and you know the people. And Vernon says, you were fearless, darling. And he said, I had to be. I fell in love with a man wanting to change the world. And Anita says, I'm not arm candy, but I do look good. I'm like, there she do. That's Vernon is a blessed man. And, what it was for me was when Anita tilted her head to the side. Yes, indeed. So Vernon and Anita dropped some papers off, and Vernon asked Anita out on a date. It was very sweet. And, they're going to go get a drink, but from the swankiest place in town. We know that as Uptown. But I don't think Uptown is upscale. It seems like the local Cheers where everybody knows your name. Ooh. Okay, listen, just a thought. Could we get Uptown as a primetime series, like as a weekly primetime series, just to know what's happening at Uptown? I mean, there was Cheers on what NBC for years, so I'm just asking. So, with that being said, Haley brings food for Bill, and Caroline is not at liberty to say where Bill is, and Naomi has not dropped the lawsuit. Haley says that Naomi is blinded by the best interest for her clients and is playing hardball, being so vindictive. This is coming from the concubine of waste who backstabbed her best friend and her best friend's mother so she could get married to their dad. And you're saying Naomi's being vindictive. Okay. All right. I just want to make sure everybody understands that. All right. We all got that. Okay. Naomi's vindictive and Haley's the same, which we all know that is bull jive, in the words of Uncle Shannon Sharp there. So anyway, Bill did not consent to that kiss, like I said. Well, like I said, Bill, at the top of this review, this after show, you didn't push Dani off of you either. Whatever we've been or done for each other is dead in the past. The charm of cocktails were not about real estate. You want something from me. And Bill says it's for Haley. Oh, my Lord. And here's the thing, Bill. This is why you play yourself, right? For you to come over just to ask Dani, right, to have everybody, speak to Haley and stuff, you knew that charm would work on Dani, so you utilized it. Because if it was just, hey, can you please ask your people to please speak to my wife, okay? It's getting a little disrespectful. Why did you remember what she drinks if Dani doesn't matter? Why were you remembering the good times if the good times didn't matter? Now, don't say because of your children, okay? All right? You and Dani were pretty close on that couch. Okay, so there was vibes there. Oh, my Lord Jesus. And then you saying that you did consent to that kiss. Like I said, you didn't push Dani off of you at all. So, let's see. Just trying to make sure I get everything. Oh, yes, Naomi gets an email about the Bill Hamilton ethics issue. Then there's a throwback moment to Naomi and Bill in better times. Anita and Vern run into Naomi at Uptown. Bill is on a mission, Caroline said. Barely said goodbye and didn't want to tell me why he was going over to Dani. Caroline thinks Bill is using Dani to ask Naomi to drop the lawsuit. Haley thinks the opposite and thinks Dani's going to turn up the heat. Every single one of the Dupree women are unhinged. And I put in my notes, and you're not. You keep walking around with this delusion of grandeur energy of, and the meme that I think of is this dog in the midst of this fire, and he's drinking hot coffee, and he's like, everything's fine. That's you, Haley, walking around Fairmont Crest, just like, everything is fine. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. And it's just like, no, everything is not fine. Fire is all around you, and you are pretending not to see it. Oh, my Lord Jesus. But you say the Dupree women are unhinged, but you didn't do something unhinged your damn self. And we don't know much about your existence. We really don't, because I believe before you got with Bill, I'm sure back in the day you were unhinged as well. So we don't know much about your childhood. We don't know much about your friendship with Naomi. We don't know your history with the Duprees. So I'm sure there will be some throwback moments where we will see you being unhinged as well. My Lord Jesus. Then we're back with Dani and Bill, and Dani says if the country club members are doing it, they are doing it on their own because of her behavior, not because I said anything. Dani, well done. Well done. You were stupid stupid as fuck for making out with Bill. You were stupid as fuck for that, because that will be used against you. But I will, applaud you for saying what you said, because that is true. You have not said a word. People have the right to free will. So Bill is happy, and Haley is making him happy, a way a man should make him feel happy. Now, Bill, you do not speak for all men. What is happiness for one man may not be happiness for another. So that was bullshit. And Haley and Bill are equal partners in practical, geriatric, intellectually, or physically. Be honest and give yourself some credit. You're going to tell your wife that you kissed me, and Bill is like, oh. Or to use the words of Tom Jordan, said, you know you done fucked up now, yeah. Shout out to Tom Jordan, by the way. Yes, indeed. So Andre cheers for all the right local teams. Now we're back with Ashley, Derek, and Andre. Does Andre play fancy basketball? Let me know if you want to be on my team. And Ashley says that they say that they're casual with it. Bokeh ball. I think I'm butchering that, but my bad if I did. That is some type of sport, and so all the responders play it, and so it gets very competitive, obviously. And then Andre asked Derek to be a part of the documentary. Jacob rolls up on Malone and Joey, assistant sent over the research. Anita feels that Bill needs to be accountable if he did do that. And Naomi says I could, find him, get his evidence excluded, get him cited for contempt of court, throw in censure from the Bar Association. And Byrne says that's a bit extreme. Naomi says Bill sent Haley. That is not true. As much as your dad is a bastard of ways, that is not true. He did not send Haley. But also, too, it wouldn't be out the question. But in this case, no, he did not send Haley. And, Vern says, let's not be too hasty. Danny believes Bill misses Danny. And, Bill is making a request and just saying, just do what I asked. And Danny, talks about everything that Bill has asked from, you want me to give up modeling? I did. You want me to raise our kids? I did. You be the perfect wife? I was. You want me to do this? You want me to do that? The third, this, that, and the third. And then she gives the deed to the rowboat house. Here's the thing, right, Bill, with this, you're asking her to do something for you after you've done something wrong to her. And this request that you're asking of the country club to respect your wife and for Danny's friends to respect Haley. If she did that, right, just to try to keep peace in the valley, and those people still don't respect your wife, then what? Then what? So you're going to blame Danny for not doing enough? Like, if people don't like your concubine of waste, then they don't like your concubine of waste. Like, what do you want people to do? So then Elon and Jacob talk. Joey allegedly is a confidential informant and is helping them nail for an agent. Malone will use the marked money to pay the guy springing the trap that will lead to an arrest. And Elon is asking Jacob not to say anything. And, I feel like that was a solid story. However, with this show, in the words of Julie Chen Moonves, from Big Brother, expect the unexpected. Let's see here. Haley is at Bill's office, and then there's throwbacks to what Danny has said about Bill. Haley is upset with Bill because Bill talked with Danny about the country club after Haley specifically asked him not to. So this goes back, if you remember, in the early episodes, because I think we're into it now. We're about to be on episode 27. So we're getting close to the first 30 episodes of, the season. If you guys remember, after the wedding, that there was a press conference, and Haley did not want Bill to go to the press conference. And Haley said, if you go to that press conference, that means you're choosing Danny over me. So this so this situation here of Bill going where Danny reminded me of Bill going to that press conference. Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. Danny did not know about the lawsuit, and Haley is shocked. It's just like, Haley, Bill, you do realize people cannot give a fuck about you, right? Okay, all right, just saying. So the club is making fun of Derek for the photo. We're back with Andre, Ashley, and Derek. Andre gets a call from someone. Now I thought it was a fake call because remember what Sharice said that get a fake call and got head out, stuff like that. And Ashley was like, "Did he just leave for a booty call?" Like, well, Ashley, here's the thing, right? You and Andre are not together, right? So, yeah, he was going to stay. I mean, he was staying because he was being kind, but like, obviously, you and Andre knows what it is. Derek was trying to interrogate him, but it seems like Derek's heart is beginning to grow to that point where it can grow 3 sizes in the same day, like the Grinch. But anyway, Derek believes that Andre is staying for the documentary, not because of a woman. Then Danny says something to Andre of liking where you go, and Andre says, "I go where I like, and I like where I go." And so Andre is Ted's nephew, right? So Danny says that this has an expiration date. Child, for this having an expiration date, it's still, the product is still usable. Because you said to him in the early days, "I'm never gonna call you again," and you keep calling him. Okay, child. Whew, it don't make no damn sense. So then Bill brings up that Haley talked to Naomi and how is why I did different, And Haley said that you would go and burn the town, put people's heads on pikes. And Bill said, "That's a turn of phrase." And Haley said, "You meant it." And for 0.0000001% of intelligence and second, Haley was right. Okay, that's all she gets. Woody Woodpecker. So that is true. Nobody likes a bully. No one likes a bully. You say that to Bill, but yet you're a bully yourself by saying we'll bankrupt your little firm and take you down and stuff. So you're not a bully, Haley. Okay, child. You wasn't a bully to Chelsea at Orphe Jeans. Child. It's all about having the black dancing, black proxy, and black imagination to do the most. Okay, child. So with that being said, Vernon says just play softball with Bill. Things can get ugly with Bill. And Naomi's not liking this energy, but I think honestly, Naomi, I think they were just trying to be protected because they are right. When Bill does Bill things, it does not work out for anybody. So I think they're just trying to protect you. And I do believe Bill will go down, right? But also too, Timothy Kyle Demont said that there was something that went down with the Duprees and Bill that we have not seen yet. So we got to see what that is. But there is, in the words of Optimus Prime, there is more that meets the eye. So then Elon Malone talk and basically says, it's the second time my son's saying this shit. I need you to step up because my son has a compass. And Jacob is right behind. So then Dani says that, she and Andre can talk after they exercise this demon. And then we're back with Bill and Haley. And Bill says the proceeds of the home is going to go to a weekend home. And something I noticed when Bill was giving this retelling of this story of what happened that night. When Haley said that, when Bill said that, Dani said, when Bill said that Dani said that she thought that this was a second chance, and Haley said, you was never going to take that idea. Bill wasn't confident. He was like, yeah, of course not. He wasn't confident. Like, of course not. You're mine, I am yours. We are to each other. He didn't give no definitive statement. Y'all know 80% of communication is nonverbal. So I knows that he wasn't confident. So it's like, are you still really having thoughts about Dani? Really? 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 So then we're almost at the end of this episode, y'all. So then Ashley is concerned about Andre finding someone. I'm just like, if you're so concerned about, why don't you go on a date with him and, be his dating coach? Derek and Ashley get on. Jacob and Naomi talk, and Naomi's worried about retaliation. Oh no, what it was that Naomi said that Vernon and Anita are worried about retaliation. So so for Naomi, that just means she's going to give it everything that she's got. And then Vernon and Anita are back at home, and Vernon says we gotta make damn sure that no one ever makes him feel like that's an option to pull the trigger to cause destruction onto people. Then Bill reassures Haley that, I love you, drive me crazy, thinking about you, baby. Shout out to Tony Braxton, the Tony Braxton. And then round 2 for Andre and Dani, and round 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yours, mine, ours. I can do different rounds for hours. Different rounds for hours. Want to give you these flowers and some champagne towers. We could do rounds for hours because it's me who needs to be devoured. Shout out to Money Long and that wonderful song for hours and hours and hours. And y'all, that is your Beyond the Gates episode 26 after show. The thing about this show, I will never forget a statement that was said in the Johnny Carson King late night documentary. You don't want to be hot on a cool medium. And the problem with this show, well, it's not actually a problem. It's a problem for some who don't know the format, but it's not a problem for the rest of us who understand not just the format, but the power of storytelling. This has such a... my Lord Jesus. This has such a thermostat that you really can't have the right clothes on mentally for this show. It's like, damn, it's hot one episode, is cold on another episode. I think that this episode had a bit of heat, but was mostly cool. Like I said, I think Andre and Dani, I think Dani is utilizing Andre as an escape. But oh, buddy, we all know how Dani is about vices. When she locks onto a vice, she doesn't let go. So I do feel like, for either Andre or Dani, one of them's gonna click of I love you. And how will that come out in the family of, oh, you've been screwing with my nephew? Oh, my Lord Jesus Christ. Elon, I feel like Elon's trying to do the right thing, but Malone, I feel like Malone's going to get so caught up. He's going to ruin his retirement. Like, dude, you got 1 year. Why are you working with Joey anyway? Like, and for some odd reason, I'm with Jacob on this one. Something is not sweet in the Kool-Aid. Just keeping it a buck. Let me make sure that we've talked about everything. Derek, Ashley, and Andre, a very interesting trio. I think Derek, he's very territorial over what he loves. I think whenever it's an outside threat, he tenses up. But it seems like he has opened up more and more, but is still guarded. I think the reflections of how Ashley feels about Andre is coming out through her actions. Like I said, to be that nurse about Andre coming over. Uh, that's a sign. The fact that, you want Andre to find somebody, that's the sign. It's just like, what was that? It was a clip of from Bachelor fan tag that said that Claire said Dale, 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 and the clip from the office was like, "Shut up about Dale, shut up about Dale." Let's see what else here. What else? Oh, Haley and Bill, my Lord Jesus, you two are meant for each other, but I feel like maybe by the beginning of season, you know what? Season 1 is to see y'all together. I think season 2 is going to be the aftermath, right? And I mean the real aftermath. Season 1 was the aftermath of Bill and Haley, Bill and Haley get married, and Danny having to deal with it. But I think season 2 will be Bill and Haley and the aftermath of how deep they've been in it. Because here's the thing. It's always nice to be in a relationship at the beginning where it's sunshine and rainbows. But what do you do when it rains and thunderstorms? And I don't think that Bill and Haley are really ready for the thunderstorms and rain to come. I don't think either one of them can stand the rain. Yes, indeed. Like I said, I would love to know more about Caroline. We were getting to know Tomas a little bit more because of, him and Kat. Vernon and Anita, I definitely want to see more about their backstory. I want to see a reunion of the Articulates for sure. I want to see, some of Vernon's old friends as well. I wonder if there is a HBCU in this world. Would love to see if there's any alumni from the HBCU in this world. That would be really cool. Um, yeah, so I would like to see more of Anita because, like I said, they still haven't talked about that night that they said that they will never talk about, but we all know eventually will have to be talked about. Yeah, like I said, Bill, you leaned into that kiss with Danny. If it really pissed you off that much, bro, you would have rejected it. You would have said no. Like, nah. And the fact that you couldn't even tell your wife that you kissed your ex-wife tells me that there are lingering feelings there. With that being said, everybody, that is it for your Beyond the Gates episode 26 after show. Of course, episode 27 after show will be on the way soon. One love, much love, all love. I feel the love, and I send it right back to each and every single one of you. Bye, everybody.